Jackie Buckley and welcome to Talk to the Animals. 9 years ago, this beautiful cougar Sierra and her sister Inca arrived here at Dreamworld on the Gold Coast. They were just 3 weeks old, covered in spots and full of fun. They've been winning hearts ever since. Also on the show, Des meets a dash hound with a whiz-bang way of staying mobile.
So, oh my God, that's amazing.
Dr. Chris infiltrates the ferret racing circuit. And go through the tunnel. And is this the ugliest breed of dog in the world?
And when they say that, I often say, you're not so pretty yourself.
Now this is a novel way of starting the workday. Cougar sisters Inca and Sierra doing a bit of networking at the Dreamworld offices on the Gold Coast. So do you guys love it when the cougars come for a visit?
We love it. It's so hard to tell people that cougars walk through your office because they never believe you. I don't think they ever get the gist of it. We don't, I guess, normally approach them and pat them without asking permission first or making sure that they're in the right mood. Obviously you don't want to get them on a bad day, so obviously.
Time to let Peter get on with her job. We've got to finish the girls' exercise program, a romp around the fun park where the sisters stop when and where they want to. Do they always do what you want them to do?
No, the cats. We often will arrive in the morning and head over to the cougars and say good morning and leash them up to go for a walk, and they don't want a part of it.
So
they're just happy, just relaxing. We try again later.
So it's all on her terms.
Absolutely.
She's beautiful. Supervisor Simon Murray has been here since the sisters arrived from a wildlife park outside Sydney.
Don't bite my nose.
When the cougars arrived, they were only 3 weeks old?
3 weeks old, tiny little bundles of fluff and spots. I guess they're exactly like you would expect a domestic cat kitten, only they weighed about 700 grams instead of a few grams. So, yeah, beautiful little things. Oh, good girl! It's a good girl. They're very like domestic cats in a lot of their mannerisms and their behaviour, but the difference is their intensity. They are very intense animals. Oh, she's off.
The elusive cougars are also commonly known as pumas and mountain lions. But because they're found in such a massive geographic area, stretching from North to South America, they have many other names, including
Banshee, devil cat, ghost cat, screamer, pitcher, squealer, and the list goes on and on and on.
These sleek creatures can jump vertically up to 8 metres. However, Sierra seems to have been shortchanged on that innate talent. Oh. She's missed it again.
Yeah, just that arc motion, doesn't quite have it.
And the kind of, ooh.
Yeah.
So if you drop it lower, she'll get it.
She will get it, but that's not necessarily a good thing.
She doesn't care.
Yeah, Inca's going to have it anyway.
Now don't worry, Sierra doesn't appear to be scarred with an inferiority complex. She still gets to show off in front of the public, even if the boys are never quite sure if their star is going to perform.
All right, come on, Sierra, don't let us down. Come on. And... good round of applause for Sierra.
For reward, Sierra prowls into the souvenir store. She reckons the only good tiger is a stuffed tiger.
This stuffed toy is worth a lot more now since it has cougar spit all over it. You can hear it purring a little bit there.
With curious customers keeping a respectful distance, Sierra just makes herself at home. It is very special to be this close to a cougar. In the wild, they are phantoms.
They're so elusive that we don't know how many are left. There could be 10,000, there could be 50,000, there could only be 2,000.
The sisters are now 10 years old. With no suitable male in Australia to mate with, these gorgeous creatures were desexed. In the wild, cougars are solitary animals, but these two spinsters have become surprisingly good friends.
It's important to remember that they are wild animals at all times, but that's hard sometimes when they're being self-lectioned.
Our girls are neighbours of those magnificent Bengal tigers at Dreamworld. But there's definitely no fraternising.
Simon Sultan's obviously noticed the cougars. He looks a wee bit interested.
Yeah, he thinks they'd be a great bit of fast food, so...
So while Sultan dreams of making Sierra his dinner, our cougar is about to indulge in her favourite treat.
How much can I give them?
That's heaps.
Oh, that's all?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not much.
No, well, you don't want to spoil them.
Okay, here we
You
go.
just place it there in front of her and she'll get right into it.
Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy.
Pays to stay on the good side of the cougar, the cat of one colour. When we come back, why a devoted owner refused to give up on his disabled doggy.
Let's go in the car. You ready?
Hooray!
On a current affair, the peeping Tom Predator, secretly filming thousands of women. Now his own wife is dobbing him in.
I found boxes and boxes of tapes.
Plus, Australia's unluckiest sea.
One futuristic feline. Next up, meet Mr. Speckles, the one-year-old cockatiel. He's got the training wheels on to become a Formula One superstar. And finally, it's Devon and his best mates, Max and Dash. These guys are clearly bona fide party animals. Drum roll, please. Leaving the competition trailing behind, our Speedy Gonzales has steered his way into first place. Mr. Speckles will be shaking his tail feather when our $500 Coles Myer gift card flies his way. And if you think your pet's got the goods, then email their photos to info@talktotheanimals.com.au.
Meet Lala. Now that's Polish for little doll. And Lala, I think you're going to be interested in a really great story about a disabled dachshund named Boo. Now Boo's legs just won't work anymore, but his loving owner Bill has found a way to keep his mate mobile. There's Dowling with that story.
Come on, let's go for a walk.
Come on, Boo. Come on, there's a good lad.
When Bill Ashton takes his little dog Boo for a walk, he knows to leave plenty of time. The little dachshund with the paralysed back legs always attracts plenty of attention.
Where are you going there, Boo? Come on, sweetie.
He's a local celebrity. Yeah, he's a star. Yeah, he's a star of the neighbourhood. On a daily basis, I can't take Boo out unless somebody stops me. Whether it's kids coming home from school, the residents where we live. I've had people even pull over in a car. They say, "Oh my God, that's amazing."
Oh, you're a beautiful boy, you are. Oh, how old is he now?
He's 11 now.
5 years ago, Boo suffered 2 slip discs in his spine and almost died.
After Boo's operation, this was Boo's option. It was a cart. This was made in America. I said, look, if that's the best you can do, then we'll go, that's the option that we had. Otherwise, he would have to been put to sleep. And that was never an option. That was never an option, no. He really fought really hard to live, and we wanted to give him a really good go at life.
Now, Bill, what is he actually doing there? Because he looks like he's biting you in the arm.
He just kind of likes to just suck on my shirt, and he feels it's just a comfort zone.
Safe and secure.
Safe and secure, yeah. So we get him by his tail, and you stand on your front.
Getting in and out of his cart isn't the most dignified affair, but Boo's not complaining.
Down the back there. Right. Oh, I said that's good.
And it's the only one he's had?
It's the only one he's had, and he's had 2 sets of tyres.
Every, 5,000 Ks or something?
Yeah. And there's been a few adjustments made on it.
Okay. I bet every pet owner who's out there would be thinking, my God, how much did all of that cost you?
Well, an arm and a leg. The surgery and his cart inclusive came to about around $5,500.
Then, of course, there's the most commonly asked question.
He does normal toilet, just comes out the back and I'm ready there to pick it up. And he can't cock his leg, so it just, like a snake, just zigzags on the pavement.
Sorry to ask these questions.
Yeah, sorry, they're very personal questions, Boo, aren't they?
There's no doubt Boo just loves his life with Bill near Gosford, north of Sydney. At times, he even builds up a fair head of steam.
Let's bring them, Cat. You ready? Hooray!
Knowing full well, of course, that Bill will always be there to carry him home if he overdoes it.
You'll sleep tonight, Boo. He takes a bit of looking after because he does a lot of normal things that doggies can do, except he can't get up and down the step. And he can't run up the stairs.
That's a good boy.
A lot of people have animals that are partly disabled and they didn't know what to do. And when they see the cat, that's the answer to everything, really. Come on, Boo, we're going to meet
It turns out, Boo even has a girlfriend.
Her name's Angel. She's a little chihuahua.
And he's all dressed up.
And he's all dressed up and he's got some goodies to give to her today, being a special day for him. You want these, won't you? Eh? Come on. Come on then. Let's go and see Angel. Hey, Angel, here's Boo. Angel.
But Boo's date doesn't quite go to plan. It turns out he should have run it by Angel before he invited the cameras along.
Here's Boo. Come on. Angel, you've got these women all stirred up, Boo. Come to see Angel. Hello? Oh, what's this? What's going on?
Not even the presents are working. Hopefully, they might sort things out once we've gone.
After the break, our intrepid vet, Dr. Chris, gets involved with a cult following.
One ferret will have their name engraved on this trophy. Let's not forget what we're competing for tonight.
60 Minutes, Liz Hayes and her controversial friends.
Is this a kiss?
Spending millions bringing the elephants of Thailand to Melbourne Zoo for our entertainment. But are you sure we're doing the right thing?
Do it, keep it, hide it.
Made it, crate it, rack it, stack it.
Tape it, box it, love it, keep it.
Shelve it, mind it, store it, hide it.
Wrap it, roll it, stack it, file it, save it. Don't throw it away. Keep it, I cannot. Keep it, I cannot.
No matter what you want stored or where you are, Kennard Self-Storage have the perfect space. So call 1300 KEEP IT.
Keep it, I cannot. Keep it, I cannot.
Lions are pinnipeds, which means they have flippers instead of legs. Males weigh about 300 kilograms. They're about 3 times beefier than the females. Sea lions are party animals and socialise in groups of 10 to 15. They're also beach babies, loving to sunbake on sand and rocks. They only feed at sea and have no set breeding season. Having been hunted almost to extinction, the Australian sea lion is now protected and can be found living along parts of the western and southern coastline.
Joining me for our next story is the fluffy angel. Now these days, more and more of these fuzzballs are becoming prized pets, with ferret lovers around the land racing them as well. Dr. Chris investigates this disturbing trend.
On your marks, set. Go. Yeah!
Welcome to the strange but true world of ferret racing. Yep, it's the latest craze sweeping our local scout halls. And the crowd, well, they take their ferret racing very seriously.
You gotta win, you gotta go as fast as you can, Sebastian.
Come on, Chaos. We spoke about this. We're gonna go through the tunnel.
Oh, you good kid.
The rules are simple. The first ferret through the tube is the winner. Getting them to go down the tube is easy. It's getting them out the other end that's the problem. The hot favourite for tonight is Jake.
Ready to go?
The three-legged albino ferret. But don't let appearances fool you. He's super fast. Well, most of the time. Jake belongs to Andrew, president of the Victorian Ferret Society. And if you ever question how someone could love a ferret, then visit his home. And you'll see how truly, deeply, madly in love he is. Andrew has more than 30 ferrets at his home, and he loves every single one of them like they're his children.
Boy.
Have they got their own personality?
Oh yeah, they've all got individual personalities. Quite often I can sit here and with my eyes shut and I'll know which one is biting me on the back of the neck and which one's climbed down inside my shirt, or there's one just has a thing about just give me a little peck on the cheek, so I can usually tell who it is even with my eyes shut, because they're all different. What are you doing? They're all different.
The Ferret Whisperer, as he's called in these parts, isn't just in it for the glory of winning. At home, he has his own ferret intensive care ward.
As you can see, his feet and his claws are really long, and his feet have got all foot rot, which I've started to cure now. He was also very, very thin when he came here. He's put on an awful lot of weight even just in those 10 days.
How does it make you feel to see a ferret like this come to you in such a bad state?
I almost cried when I started treating him. It was really upsetting.
Now, ferrets, they're pretty complex creatures. They eat cat food, they take dog vaccinations, and they're actually related to the skunk, which means that if you push their buttons and get them a little bit scared, then up here really kicks into action. You don't want to be around that. So it's all come down to this, the final. One ferret will have their name engraved on this trophy. Let's not forget what we're competing for tonight. We ready for a start?
Let's go.
Marks, get ready, go! And who am I not to get caught up in ferret racing fever? How's it feel? Winner of the Talk to the Animals Ferret Cup 2006, Bert. Mate, any words? No, I didn't think so. What about you? How does it feel? It's good. It's good? It's fantastic. There you go. That's your prize there. Back next year to defend your crown? Yep. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there.
Still to come, they're beautiful on the inside. Ugh, it's not easy being ugly.
In the serenity of the
Most people would look at the Slavin family and think they were just like everyone else. But they have a passion few understand.
This is Mimi. She's wild, that's what I like about her. She loves children, but she couldn't eat a whole one.
This is Yeti. She's my favourite because she's really fun to play with and she's got a little cheeky attitude and she's really sweet. This is Evie and I love her because she's loyal and she's so ugly that she's cute.
The Slavins have 16 Chinese crested dogs and they adore every single one.
Well, I think they're a beautiful breed, and I think they're what I call the world's best kept secret. If everybody knew what they were like, they'd all have one.
Let's face it, most people think that Chinese cresteds were at the back of the queue when good looks were given out.
Well, there's two reactions. One is they either love it and say it's the most beautiful thing they've ever seen, or they say that it's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. And when they say that, I often say, you're not so pretty yourself. My boy, he's the handsomest little dog in the whole world, aren't you? Very handsome. Yes, you're a beautiful boy.
Why do you think people respond in that way to the Chinese
It's probably just shock. It's probably just they look at them and they say, oh my God, that dog's got no hair. It's odd. And they don't like things that don't look like what's normal.
And this family is fighting back. Carol is the Victorian president of the Chinese Crested Association.
What I like about them is that they're everything you want them to be. If you want to sit on the couch all day, they'll sit with you. If you want to go out in the garden or run, they'll do that with you too.
There's two distinct varieties of this unusual dog. One is hairless, except for its feet, head and tail. The other is called the powder puff, and it has a coat of long, soft hair. The origins of the breed are unclear. Most likely, a cross between the Chihuahua and the Mexican hairless dog. The ancient Aztecs used to keep these little darlings as bed warmers, which is kind of nice, isn't it? But Peppy, we might just cover your ears for this little bit, because they also used to eat them. That's just terrible. good, wasn't it? It brings a whole new meaning to the phrase, I love you so much, I could just eat you all up. Roy, the family Siamese cat, gets on well with the dogs most of the time.
If they take his spot on the couch or something, he'll tell them.
How does he do that?
Gives him a little whack.
If you've fallen in love like the Slavens, you want to know about price. Well, Chinese cresteds generally cost between $500 and $1,000, depending on the variety and the sex of the puppy. But in the end, they're like any other dog. They really don't care what anyone thinks. Like all of us, they just want to be loved.
He's easy to love, He's easy to love.
He's your favourite,
Yes, he might look a bit disreputable and old now, but he's still my boy.
We all get that way, don't we?
Oh, that's right.
We're still lovable.
Hopefully someone will love me when I'm that ugly and old.
Well, Angel, beauty is definitely in the eye of the beholder. One thing there'll be no debate about is the new Purina One competition, which will definitely have you flying high.
How would you like an airline ticket that can take you anywhere your heart desires? Well, thanks to Purina One and Talk to the Animals, you and a friend could be jet-setting around the world. Purina One cat and dog food provides your pet with all the nutrients required, and now, by simply purchasing any Purina One cat or dog food, not only could you see a difference in your pet, but you could also win an incredible trip for two around the world with $3,000 spending money. All you have to do is SMS 1-999-9754 with your full name, postcode and the last 5 digits from any Purina One barcode. Or you can call 1-900-959-053 and follow the prompts. The competition closes at 12 midnight Australian Eastern Standard Time on September 23rd, and the winner will be picked at random and announced on our website. Speaking of which, if you want to know anything else about the show or you have any questions for our mailbag, then head to talktotheanimals.com.au.
Well, I have really loved meeting these beautiful cougars here at Dreamworld, and I figure now that I've fed them a bit of whipped cream, I will be their friend for life. I would really put Inca and Sierra on your must-see list. Until next time, remember, take care of all the animals. Always a neat yummy.